Our musical program this morning includes performances by Harold and Cecilia Kafer, some of whom you already know. Harold retired from Northern Illinois University in DeKalb, Illinois in 2010 after a long career as a musical faculty member and as an arts and university level administrator. He served NIU as director of the School of Music, dean of the College of Visual and Performing Arts, which is how we got together after all these years, and ultimately deputy provost. Having begun piano study at the age of 14 in Ohio, as a high school senior, he won first prize in the Phoenix Symphony Concerto Competition and scholarship to the Music Academy of the West in Santa Barbara, California. He went on to complete a BM in piano performance from Peabody Conservatory, an MM from Arizona State University, and a PhD from North Texas. As a pianist and conductor, he has performed nationally and internationally in solo and chamber music settings, as well as duo recitals with his wife, soprano Cecilia Kafer. Cecilia has appeared in recital, opera, and oratorio throughout the United States, as well as in Germany, Austria, and New Zealand, some of my other places. She has performed with the Arizona Opera Company, the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, and as a guest artist with the Florida State University Opera. She has also appeared with the Elgin and Columbus, Georgia Symphony Orchestras, among others. For many years, she was a vocalist with the Lyric Ensemble, a chamber ensemble of voice, oboe, horn, and piano. Ms. Kafer retired in 2010 after many years as a vocal teacher. In retirement, yet some of us are. Harold is happy to allow others to have the limelight, but still seeks out occasional opportunities to perform in order to keep both his fingers and brain agile. It is with great pleasure that we present to you Harold and Cecilia Kafer.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure to do this for Joyce and Gary. We hope you enjoy the program. I'm going to start with a piece that became a signature for Myra Hess, who was one of the great British pianists of the 20th century. She became a cultural hero in Britain during World War II, when the Germans were bombing the city of London and the concert halls and the theaters were shut down at night. So Myra Hess started a free concert series at the National Gallery once a week at noon. And she continued these concerts throughout World War II, playing over 150 of them herself, and then gathering her musician friends from London and around the country also to perform. So in 1941, she was made a Dane Commander of the British Commonwealth, thanks from a grateful nation. She wrote a number of transcriptions of Bach works during her career, but this transcription of Gaze of Joy at Man's Desire really became her signature piece and often was requested as an encore from audiences if she didn't actually program it. So I hope you enjoy this.
lived for virtually the entire 20th century. He was born in 1901, died in 1999. He was tragically struck blind at the age of 3, but it didn't keep him from being a very wonderful and prolific composer, probably best known for his guitar concerto. The texts for the Cuatro Madrigales Amatorios, which is 4 love madrigals, are taken from a collection of 16th century poetry. And it's a cycle, but it doesn't actually tell a story. It just deals with the different facets of love, from despair to deceit and finally to unite. So here
So an arabesque has a number of meanings. It's an architectural term, deriving from Arab-esque. It's a figuration that comes out of Moorish architecture that tends to be geometric and very fancy, and figures that turn back in on themselves. In ballet, it's actually a ballet position. I won't attempt to demonstrate that. It would be a little embarrassing. And in music, it's sort of a conglomerate of those definitions. Usually deals with a melodic figuration that, again, is sort of fancy and tends to turn in on itself. So the theme to this is sort of twirls around. And Schumann takes that little theme and churns all of the melodic content for this piece. It's an early piece, but is very forward-looking for Schumann. You'll find both his introspective and reflective characteristics in this piece, but you'll also find some of what comes later in pieces like the Davids, Wundertanz, and Carnival. You get this sort of quirky phrasing and big contrasts of dynamics. It's become one of Schumann's most played pieces. It was popular the moment he composed it and has stayed in the repertoire ever since.
Most of you probably know the basic plot of the opera, The Barber of Seville. Rosina, the sweet young thing, is in love with the tenor, but her guardian, the old guy bass, wants to marry her, so the whole plot is around foiling him. Now, me singing this piece, my history, the last time I sang this piece, I've done various stints as a soprano, as a mezzo, I'm calling myself a mezzo for this program because everything I'm doing is mezzo stuff. But I last sang this piece, my last stint as a mezzo, which was right around the time when Napoleon was a teenager. And this character is about 17 years old. And both my voice and, not to mention the rest of me, is a couple of eons away from 17. So I made a few modifications. I'm calling it the Medicare Rosina. And if you see me crossing my fingers towards the end of it, there's a big high note coming up. Actually, there are two of them, but I only do one. And we'll see if I have enough gas to make it. So, here we go. Una voce poco fa, qui nel cuore mi risuonò. Il mio cuore ferito è già, indoro fu che piovò, sì l'indoro mio sarà, lo giurai, lo vincerò, sì l'indoro mio sarà. Dicendo
they're early in ABC's career, but you get a flavor of what's to come.
The arabesque is
atmosphere,
ABC,
and
much like the
harmonies.
Schumann or forward-looking pieces, they're early in
First is
ABC's
maybe
career.
his second most famous
But you get a
piano.
flavor of what's to come
The second
with
half
atmosphere and
not
just
quite
like
so
harmonies.
well put together, and they make a wonderful pair.
The first is maybe his second most famous piano piece, that Incredible Moon. The second arabesque is not quite so well put together and they make a wonderful pair.
il ne faut sauter étonner, car je suis en pégrisse, mais je faut pas qu'on le dise, faut pas